Homegrown Radio.
Yes, sir. It is your boy Token Toby, aka Toby. I did say it twice, so you know that I mean it. And I am here with the Homegrown fam, and we are here broadcasting live from the Durban, conference, and we having a great time. And as we move on, I'm not alone. I'm with a podcastee himself. Can we get your name, man?
My name is Senzo Madumba.
Yes.
Full name's Ndiwashu Senzo Madumba. Stage name Krosetum Profiti.
Where does it come from?
Okay, so it's actually quite a long story, but if you want more about it, you can check us out on Inside Zere on YouTube.
Okay.
There's actually an episode that I did with Siatoko Zazuma where the same question arose. And
Right.
I basically went into depth as to how the name came about. But yeah, just to be brief,
Okay.
It's Senzo.
Okay. Oh no, that's true. I mean, look, in the world of podcasts, in the world of the digital era, what we're in now, the growth in terms of from radio stations to podcasts being like a visual, because we're very visual these days.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of the the voice or audio that we do sometimes is not as good. People want to see things now.
Yeah.
People want to visualize.
Yeah.
So the podcast era, from the switch. Do you think it's the right time for it to happen? Do you think it's great and that it's happened, or do you think it's gonna crash sometime? Or what's your outtake on that?
I feel like what better time than now?
Right.
So since way back,
Right.
take it back to Charles Darwin. I mean, evolution is something that's bound to happen.
Absolutely.
And then we look into studies. So I am currently studying media practices at Boston.
Yeah.
And one of my majors is advertising.
Okay.
And what I've learned through that is human beings tend to react to face. They like seeing and interacting with your facial expressions, this, that, and the third, right?
Absolutely.
And basically, us transitioning in that way allows people to basically relate to us and actually
Absolutely.
feel and understand the emotion behind everything that is being said on screens and this, that, and the third. I mean, it goes both ways. I feel like it could be the best time for the transitioning.
Right.
It also couldn't, but we don't know until we try.
Absolutely.
Which is the main idea of going into the visual.
It's like, and I like the Charles Darwin analogy as well, because it's like natural selection.
True.
It's like they select. I'm going to use the analogy of a rabbit, right? A rabbit runs away from a cheetah. That same rabbit, so the same type of rabbits, but different, breed. Runs away and gets eaten and caught. Those ones obviously are going to be obsolete, and then the ones that oftenly get away from the cheetah is going to be the new version. So I think podcast is that new rabbit.
It is that, because I mean, radio without doubt is slowly dying out.
Right.
It is decaying in a very quick way. Like not a lot of people want to just like sit there and listen and not see. They a lot of people don't like visual, like imagining things. Especially in the youth, which is, I feel like
I think it's a problem. Don't you think it's a problem?
Not really. Not really, because we like challenging our way of thinking these days.
Okay.
Like ages, I'd say 17 to 25.
Okay.
Are more interested in knowing why things are to be, and like feeling why you say things and not just you saying them. So I feel like in radio, you would hear what he's saying, but like because there's no emotion to it, you don't really believe it. Because I mean, if I can make eye contact with you right now, psychologically you're processing what I'm saying.
Right.
A part of you does drift, yes, but like it goes according to your likes and interests as to are you accepting what I'm saying or are you just letting it drift, type of thing.
So absolutely agree with that. But so I think everything has its pros and cons.
True.
Right. So in as much as the visual part of it is exciting, because obviously the different colors, the stuff that the people wear, like your Mac G's, where it's all loud and the way he laughs sometimes and all of that stuff. I mean, you get to see a whole lot of things and react to it in a different way than as to if you were to listen to it and kind of imagine it. Those days when they have the big radio. So I'll use football as an example. The commentators have this way of painting a picture, you. If you were to listen to it and then to visualize it, obviously it's not going to be this exact same type of setting when you look at it versus when you listen to it, but it kind of gives you you're not spoon-fed when being creative.
Yeah.
I think it's about the creativity. You become more creative than now, I guess,
Yeah, but remember, sight is more of like a privilege.
All right.
There's people that aren't afforded the opportunity of actually seeing things,
Absolutely, yeah.
And you don't really need to see. I mean, it's been proven all over again that like blind people can like live normal life, not normal, but like can continue on with their lives,
right,
regardless of whether they can see or not. It's the same thing with podcasts. You could be watching MacG and like making food, making eggs, whatever. You may not be watching him and all these things that they're doing, but like the voices, what they're saying to you and how they deliver the message is authentic in a way that you can relate to it and sort of move on from it. But then again, there's those that like sitting down and engaging with these types of people,
absolutely,
which can therefore. So I agree with your point there.
Yeah, for sure, man, and I think it goes hand in hand as well. Because remember, also when you're watching something, not many people kind of take it in. Because I think when you're listening, you take more than information than see the information. When you're watching, you kind of there for the moment, and you're like, wow. But then you miss a lot of things that are coming into here. But I mean, like you said, the whole Charles Darwin analogy, great as well. Because I mean, what better than change? Sometimes you've got to change. That's why we elect every year. Everything. So yes, change is not always for the better. Sometimes it's bad, but it depends as well. I think podcasts are amazing as well. Podcasts is a very good way of interacting and engaging with people, especially for your viewers. In fact, you're getting more viewers than listeners now, because obviously YouTube is actually one of the biggest platforms in terms of the visual age. I think YouTube was the mother of the visual age of all these things that are happening now. So so talking about podcasts, what's your type of podcast, genre of podcast, and who is your go-to person, like every day without fail?
Okay, so wait, do you mean in terms of inspiration or by go-to person?
Yeah, just like you could just listen to this person endlessly, just.
Okay, so it has to either be Ryan Holiday or Tom Bellew from Impact Theory.
And their genre. So what is it that? What do they listen? Like what do they talk about? What's the genre?
Intellect.
Oh, it's intellect.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm a very big fan of the cultivation of self-intellect. Hence, I feel like it is very important for it to be shared amongst the youth, which is basically the origin of the Sadecast.
Absolutely.
So the Sadecast is a podcast that mainly takes place online.
Yeah.
It is on Instagram. Why? Because my target market is usually on their phones. Getting entertained by just like the idea of soft living, being interested in other things that they shouldn't really be, according to me, right? And then we switch it up. We go to the Inside ZA. Inside ZA is mainly targeted at the matured audience.
Right.
People that don't use these Instagrams, people that don't use these Twitters, but people that still want to learn. So you can be like 50 years old and still watch the Inside and still relate to it.
And still learn. Right.
Exactly. It is not like age-based. Okay, obviously you need to be at a certain age where you can accept certain information and learn how to process it.
Yeah, and also be on Instagram as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is basically the difference between the two and why I am into both. Right. It's because one is mainly targeted at a specific group, where I feel like it is my duty to extract, the average norm, and put them into this new world, just open this door of knowledge.
Absolutely.
Just like you can watch if you want to, get what you can from it. It's something that you can go back to 20 years from now.
Absolutely.
And you'll still learn something about it.
Absolutely.
I'm not there to really entertain, but to educate.
Yeah.
Also on the Inside area, so it is mainly just that.
Yeah.
It is mainly just to communicate with people, just to change their way of thinking, just to pick a little bit of everyone's brain, which is why we've got different people coming on our shows on both platforms.
Absolutely.
So basically, that is what it's about, man.
Lovely stuff, man. Lovely stuff. And I'm really excited. Just before we wrap it up, what do you think? Just a quick one, just a brief one. What do you think the future of visual and audio is? What are we going to next? Your holograms, and what is after podcast? Like,
I feel like, man. I feel like holograms,
right?
I feel like we've been seeing these things in the Avengers, and
like
holograms are just something that has been in existence, in movies and all of these things that we've been watching even as kids, it's about time that we have developed this technology and it's just put away and just needs that one, that sprinkle of zest
and it becomes
to
a
bring
norm.
it up. So I feel like holograms, where you can actually see the whole thing unfolding before you. You
Right.
can actually watch these people, interact with them and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is lovely. It is 2:30 here in the afternoon, and we are live on Durban at the Durban conference, and we are doing the things that make the things to be done here. We're here on Homegrown with the family, and I'm actually learning quite a lot from this. And please prosper more years for your podcasts and your different things that you're doing, and as you stream into different avenues as well, and greatness. I'm Togon Toby, aka Toby. I say it twice so you know that you mean it, and I'm with. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Sure.